order.
All right, rise for a pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah.
Oh, do I have an agenda yet? I need an agenda. Okay, thank you. Okay. Roll call, please.
Okay. Mr. Kevin Farkas. Here. Mr. Bob Tate.
Here.
Mr. Justin Woodrick.
Here.
Mr. Jake Tate.
Here.
And Mayor.
Yes, here.
Bill Heaton is not present, and neither is John McAdoo.
Okay. Department committee discussions. Sure.
Can I make a suggestion that because we have folks here who are for the bid opening, that we move that up on the agenda?
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What do we have for bids?
You have 4 people.
You have the honors, sir.
Yeah, so
Don't cut
I
yourself.
don't know. This is my first time opening bids, so bear with me if I mess anything up, or you tell me what I need to do differently if I'm doing something wrong. Okay.
That's a big
We're going to open the bids and then we'll record them as being received.
All right. So this one is waste management.
Okay.
You have a representative here from Waste Management.
Good.
Okay. Am I just reading this whole?
I wonder if he could probably maybe make it easier
There's,
for us.
Yeah,
the
there
person that prepared the bid is not here. That I'm filling in for her. She had surgery today, but there's probably a tab where our bid bond is, and there's probably a tab where the pricing form is.
Yeah, so I have, I'll read the Dear Council letter, front page. Waste Management of Pennsylvania is pleased to have the opportunity to provide West Mayfield Borough with the enclosed proposal for collection, removal, and disposal of garbage and refuse. Waste Management is a leading provider of comprehensive waste. Do you want me to do this whole thing?
No,
Just in the
I think we should just get to the
And then
nitty
we
gritty.
have table of contents, Waste Management's proposal. Is we have the power of attorney.
That does coincides with it, so I'm going to guess it's.
This is what it's.
Do you know what,
Yeah,
what all was
on the
bid?
table of contents, there should be something referencing pricing form or bid form where the pricing will be reflected.
Completed bid
So it's
specs.
going to be E.
Look. It looks like green
Alright.
or red. Let me talk.
We do that wrong. We can, but,
Yeah,
No,
but I
coming
I
apart.
think we should look at these for
Yeah,
completeness.
so this is the,
And then,
Need a heart.
mandatory service inclusion, so I would read this,
okay.
this. That's all we need to do tonight.
And this is option
Bids,
2.
Public meeting.
So that would be option
Report that they
1.
received.
There's option 1 and option 2.
Yeah,
Okay,
so we just can't do that tonight.
okay, that's what I was wondering.
So just read from option 1 down.
okay. So option 1 is the traditional manual unlimited service, fixed monthly rate per residential unit. Year 1, $21.50. Year 2, $22.58. Year 3, $23.71. Optional add-on of the e-waste door-to-door service is $184 for year 1, $193 for year 2, and $203 for year 3. inventory service inclusions, unlimited bags per month, traditional manual collection, weekly collection of a large item, not baggable, couches, refrigerators, washers, dryers, etc. Elderly disabled service, collection at the building for residents unable to transport garbage to the curb at no extra cost. On call is the e-waste service optional add-on. Bidder shall indicate whether an on-call door-to-door household hazardous waste. So that's what that is. Option 2, automated cart, limited service. Monthly rate is for a fixed price 96-gallon cart per month is $19 for year 1, $19.95 for year 2, and $20.95 for year 3. For an extra cart, it's $8 for year 1, $8.40 for year 2, and $8.82 for year 3. And the optional add-on e-waste door service year 1 is $184, $193 for year 2, and $203 for year 3.
I don't know what this is.
It's like electronics and
Well, I understand it, so what's that number?
$1.84 for year.
Is that what it is? That don't seem right.
Yeah, that's $1.84 per unit per month.
Okay, now, this is for this, what, the single can or the two?
Yes,
That's the big container you
Yes,
guys?
Yes.
Okay,
and they do have a recycling service.
we don't do that. Right?
Okay. So they,
Okay, I had a question about that. What is it? Is that, when you're bidding this, or is this per every household? When you're talking the one can system?
Yeah, so in other words, for that option number 2 that he just read, if you guys go with the automated collection where every household's gonna get a 96-gallon cart, right? Their price will be $19 per unit per month. Now, if they have a bigger family and they need a second cart, then you add on for that first year $8 for that second cart. And that takes care of the transportation and disposal of those contents.
Okay, what my question is
Unoccupied housing.
unoccupied house. Let's say somebody moves out and the house is gonna be unoccupied for a year or two.
No, then we take them off and she put a note in there, because I think there was a question, I think she was, I'm not sure who Justin is, but I know, okay, Justin? Yeah, so in other words, for your, Justin, I guess she put a note in there, for snowbirds, we will, take them off the building while.
yeah, and that's
Vacant
on the
homes,
bid
we don't
too,
build
somewhere.
somewhere.
Okay,
Yeah, it says required temporary suspension of service, but I don't see that on the bid proposal.
we can look through that later, so,
Sure, yeah.
just to make sure.
Oh, yeah. Waste Management will provide temporary suspension of service for snowbird and vacant properties per number 8 in the bid specs.
So what, you have to be notified by who? The homeowner,
Yeah, they usually call in and give an indication as to when they're gonna be leaving, and we'll just remove them from building.
okay.
Your house is under construction?
Same thing, house is under construction,
Same
they're,
thing, until
okay.
somebody's in there creating trash.
Perfect, okay. That's what I wanted to make sure that was,
Yeah, that's fine.
or if somebody goes into the nursing home for, yeah, so it's the same thing, okay.
And we put that recycling, I know it's not part of this bid, but I think she put it in there just in case you guys move in that direction, you have the pricing for it.
Okay, that's great. Okay. We haven't because I guess because we couldn't afford it before?
In the bid, there's basically, if there's additional services that they want to provide, they can provide the
Right,
prices
I
on it.
understand that, but I'm just saying why we never did it before.
You're not required to recycle by the state because your population and homes in your township
Okay,
or your borough is not high enough to require it by the state.
all right, so we know what, that's all we need for that one, right? Let's put that back in here for now and go for the next one.
Alright, the second one is from Valley Waste Service, and they put a bid for option 1, which is the traditional manual unlimited service. Fixed monthly rate per residential unit is $23.83 for the first year. Year 2 is $24.54, and year 3 is $25.27. There is no e-waste service on this one. And I believe that is, I don't know if there's a comment on the snowbirds or not.
It's the same, like we, if somebody's snowbirds or goes on vacation, we stop the billing.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, I had one more question for you. If you miss somebody, you send somebody out to get it right away, or do we have to wait for the following week?
If it's not outlined in your bid specifications, we usually do a 24-hour turnaround time.
Okay, good. And
Same for Valley?
I would say Valley would be the same, being you're right here.
Yes.
Okay.
That is not in the bids.
This is Aiken.
Was there cost in here for the,
That is unlimited, so that's no cart service.
there's no cart service in this bid?
Yeah, option 2. Ours, no, we didn't bid that option.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one here is no bid.
Who's that?
This is Aiken. Okay, so
Matt and Lindsay are both here.
yeah, so the next one is from Aiken Refuse. They did not bid the traditional unlimited service. And we have the option 2 automated cart and limited service. And that is for the fixed price 96 gallon is $22 for year 1, $22 for year 2, and $22 for year 3. For an extra cart, it's $8 for year 1, 2, and 3. And no optional e-waste on that one. Any questions for that one?
Do you want to mention that?
I don't know, that's,
I don't know
Who?
what it's for.
That's
you
the
guys
one.
supply the cart?
Yeah, that's the understanding, right?
Yeah, that's in the bid. Yeah.
Okay, that's what you just asked. And do we have to pay for the cart? Does the homeowner gotta pay for the
It's
cart?
included in
It's
your base rate, it's all included.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Just for these guys' purposes, the residents don't own them.
Correct.
So if they move and take them, that's a problem.
It does actually say in the bid spec
Yeah.
that this company owns property.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a different one that I'm not familiar with, but
Who is it?
All right, we have one from County Hauling LLC from Bell Vernon, PA.
Okay, that's Mike
cow.
Wisniewski. He's right here.
this has an option 1 and 2.
Okay, so they bid on both options.
Lizinski, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Oh, no, I know.
For the traditional manual unlimited service, fixed monthly rate is for year 1 is $23.82. Year 2 is $24.95. Year 3 is $26.14. Optional e-waste is $1.50 for the first year, $1.55 for year 2, and $1.60 for year 3. For the automated cart limited service, for one 96 gallon cart, for the first year is $20.97. Year 2 is $21.60. Year 3 is $22.25. Extra is $8.50 for the first year, $8.75 for year 2, and $9 for year 3. The optional e-waste is $1.50 for year 1, year 2 is $1.55, and year 3 is $1.60.
Do you guys pick anybody else up locally? It seems like you guys are a good ways out.
Yeah, we have a transfer station in McKees Rocks. So we
Okay.
service Coriopolis, Borough.
I know I've seen the trucks.
Yeah, primarily we're south of Pittsburgh, but starting to branch out further north.
Okay.
This goes with that as well. Bond is
Perfect.
an extra report.
And I believe that's all the bids.
That is it, all the bids.
Time to discuss, right?
This is what I would recommend. I would like to have time to look at those, review
Yeah.
those, and let's plan on putting this on the table, a vote.
For the next
Discussion
meeting?
and vote.
And that's what the
Yeah.
bid says, is we're gonna open them today, do some discussion about them and then vote on them on the regular council meeting, so.
When is next regular?
It is
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday?
Yep. Any questions or concerns that we need to address while they're here or anything?
How about,
Do any of them look
you concerned about having come back to your alley? Does they,
Everybody else comes back my alley. I don't know. If you guys have people that live in tight alleys, this goes to any of you guys. Do you guys come back and get the stuff, or do you make them drag it all the way out to the street?
It depends how tight.
It's big enough for a garbage truck.
If we can get a truck back there and you guys are okay with it, that's what we're gonna do.
Perfect.
same?
Yeah.
Good deal.
Do any of you want to say anything? Or
I mean,
have questions? I know a couple people may have
the
questions.
the only thing is that at your door program, the electronic waste.
Yes.
You guys don't have that program right now, right? You
No.
don't have it.
Right.
So just, I know County Hauling, we both have sort of the same program. What that is, it's all for electronic waste. It's for household hazardous waste, like garden chemicals, stuff like that. I'm pretty sure, Justin, I don't know if Terry showed, she probably shared with you everything that's included in that.
We saw that.
Yes.
Remember the
So-
bags that they leave at your door, so
Yeah,
we
so
saw
basically,
that.
if the borough adopts that program, the way it works is, we would provide your residents with, first of all, we would educate everybody, right? Like, let's say Waste Management was awarded this contract, even before we get started, we will educate all your residents on the cards, when we're gonna deploy cards, the at your door program, which they're, not used to it, and they might not lack information on it. We'll send that educational materials out, and then, like I said, for that program, the way it works is you have TVs to dispose of or household hazardous waste. You just call this 1-800 number, give them your name and address. We will put you on a schedule. We try to schedule you from like maybe 2 weeks from your call, because we're trying to take all the calls and dispatch a truck to go to, the West Mayfield Borough to pick up from this resident and this resident. And we show up right at your door. You can leave the contents right on your front porch, in your driveway, by the garage. You tell us where they're gonna be. If it's small components, like big TVs could be placed out by themselves, we have a DEP approved, it's not a Ziploc bag, that's like this big 48-pound bag, right? You can put batteries in, fluorescent tubes, all the smaller components can be placed in that bag. And when you call and you schedule this, we ship you a kit, so that your residents will receive this kit that they can put these contents into. And then we'll agree on a date that we're gonna be there. You guys just put it out, we'll pick it up, our technicians will pick it up.
Now,
And
is that priced on what you're putting out there, or is it the same
It's-
price no matter
No, it's the
what?
same price, and our program's unlimited. They can call as much as they want. The only thing they're limited, and we'll give you the information, they're limited in terms of how much material they can put out at one time, right?
Sure.
We don't want 20 TVs out there. So I think it's like 3 TVs, and it gives you a little illustration of what can be placed out one time. But if you have more, you can just keep calling. It's unlimited service.
Okay.
And it's for that $1.84 per month.
The world we live in today, electronics everywhere.
That's good to have.
And
I
that's
think
paint, that's
it's great.
TVs,
But your residents that don't get rid of stuff will cry about it.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Because they're gonna pay that. Everybody has to pay it,
Right.
even if only 10 people use it.
I can tell you that of all the municipal contracts that we have that adopted that program,
Yes.
no one got rid of it, even in their next bids. They put it as a
So, like,
requirement.
every month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One month that would be.
And then the big stuff, the couches and stuff, what was that?
That's bulk, collection.
That's one time a month.
Yeah.
You have to let you know on that, or is it a certain day?
I think it's part of the bid space. I think if we go to card service, I believe it's one.
It's a specific day of the
Yeah,
month.
it's like the last full service week of the month or something. They can put out those.
So that's at your discretion,
Yes.
whatever your discretion.
Now, whoever we go with, are you gonna send out to each customer the
Cleaners and stuff.
Yeah, they're
okay.
Yeah.
Your billing, your
Yeah.
dates, and
Basically, I mean, I'll speak on behalf of Waste Management. What we do is, if we take over a contract, we send out a welcome letter, a welcome packet to everybody.
Okay.
With all the bullet points of the new contract, when their service day is, with a calendar. Any new information, like I said, with this At Your Door program, we include all that information in. We could work, we've been working with boroughs and townships with, if you guys have social media feeds, we could provide you with snippets that you could blast out to your residents as well.
So
And
does the
then we'll
borough
do it.
provide an address list of residents so that you want things mailed out?
I mean, we would work with you, Justin, to get maybe your resident list, an address list that we can work from.
To wait and do.
And we do have a program that we can probably, if you don't have a list, we could probably get one generated.
We do.
I mean, most municipalities provide their address list.
I personally don't have one.
I'm sure Kathy
I'm
has
sure there's one somewhere.
I have a walking list, which is for whenever you're running. It has
Figure it
everything.
out.
That's just registered voters.
Oh, that's right.
We have a program called Power BI that we could actually pull a list of your addresses. We use it for auditing purposes. So, if you don't have a list, I'm sure we can derive one.
I have a
Lindsay?
follow-up question. You are voting on this next Wednesday. You'll make a decision at that point, so whether you're gonna go with the unlimited option versus the cart option, and you're starting January 1, is that correct?
That's correct.
So if you go with the cart option, you're expecting to have carts delivered to these addresses, an address list, billing information generated, a welcome packet generated, and carts delivered to these addresses by January 1, before January 1. Am I accurate?
So that's when our contract is, is up.
Okay.
Our current contract is up. So, I believe
I
when,
don't think we'd have to expect to have everything by then.
I believe there was a transition period that most, when you're switching from unlimited to cart, that a lot of companies kind of deal with the not having carts initially, but I could be.
Get the cart whenever, you
I
can
mean, I
still
can
put
answer
it.
that. Typically, with contracts we're taking over that start January 1, this late in the year, I mean, we'll work with the borough. We have the carts ready to go, but we would work with you. Most municipalities that are January 1 contract start date, that are going to carts, we usually don't deploy carts until like April 1st, end of March, mid-March, something like that.
Okay.
Because we want to give your residents time to get educated on the carts.
Okay.
Now, do all of you do where snowbirds where they don't pay and like people that are redoing a house?
So we have a letter that we submitted that explains it in our option. We do provide the, snowbirds or properties that are vacant for renovations, the ability to suspend their service. But we only bid the cart option because the unlimited option, there's already issues with us as the current hauler. That's why we did not bid that option.
Any other questions?
So let's give the finance committee a chance to look at these and then make a recommendation at the next meeting.
Perfect.
Okay?
Sounds good.
Thanks everybody for coming
Thank
out.
you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Do we have all your cards?
Yeah, we have all
Yeah,
the
yeah,
information.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Good. Yeah, and does Justin have all your numbers? Okay.
Probably on
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Well, we've got to get them to the attorney. you
All
guys
right.
look at them right away.
Yeah, let's fast track it.
You guys look at them, decide which one we wanna go with, get it to the attorney,
Yeah,
and have him look it over.
yeah.
I mean, just a quick go over, I wrote down the prices as of right now. Waste management's 2150, they came in at the lowest.
Those other two were nice, yeah, really nice.
Followed by Aiken at
Aiken's out.
2382. But that's for their.
They're out, everybody wanted the unlimited.
Charging
right?
everybody else, didn't we? I can
We're not
take it
gonna
over
have
there.
unlimited, right?
Where's it at?
Oh, no, that was
there-
option
Yeah,
one.
there's
Oh, that
option
was
one
option
and
one.
option two. Option one is
But-
unlimited.
Offering unlimited.
But Aiken's
But
not.
no,
We don't want Aiken in there.
well,
They
listen,
won't
listen,
do
hold
that.
on. So Valley Waste, Waste Management came in at $19 per cart.
Yeah.
Aiken came in at 22, so they were $3 higher.
But we don't want Aiken anyways.
We're not talking about that right now. We're talking about the prices,
Okay.
base
Yeah,
prices.
and then we'll have to look at all the
But
other
but
things that they're also offering.
But
Yes.
when you put your thing out there, your questionnaire, most people wanted the unlimited,
Yeah, but
correct?
it was based on how much was actually, like, I think one of the things
I
that
don't think any of the companies offered unlimited.
they did.
They offered
Yes, so
three.
Valley Waste
Okay.
was,
Aiken was the only one that didn't.
No, there was.
and
another
then Valley Waste didn't do an option 2.
one, too, yeah. So
So they don't wanna
Valley Waste
do
was just
carts,
on-
they wanna do
Okay.
unlimited only.
I suggest we just, the
Jay-
finance committee will look at
He
it.
was, Valley Waste was telling her that instead of adding that dollar something on, you can take your stuff down there.
Until you see the prices.
Yeah.
I tried to take a TV down there and I think it was like $38 for
Yeah.
one.
No,
small
we're
TV.
better off just adding that to it.
Yeah, I think I would add it for.
Because
myself.
everybody gets rid of TVs.
Oh yeah, everybody gets rid of something
computers,
electronic
Paint
eventually.
cans.
Paint, yeah.
I will say that Waste Management was so helpful in the whole thing, providing like information, like even things that they didn't offer. They were like, these are what you should put in the bid. They're offering, I believe, or all the
They got a
bids.
novel.
Well, all the bids that I put in there is that every company is required to provide West Mayfield a locked thing for the park.
Dumpster.
Yeah,
Yeah,
locked
lockable
up
dumpster.
for free. So
Oh.
that will be free and all that stuff.
That's
so.
nice.
But and the only reason that's in there is because Waste Management is like, if we're billing your residents, we'll give the borough free
dumpster
trash.
for free.
Yeah, she's like, everyone
That's a
should be
big
doing
thing.
that. So
That'll save us some
Just
money.
so everyone's clear, so we opened up the bids publicly, which we had to do.
10 minutes.
And then what we're going to do now is the finance committee will review the bids and we'll make a recommendation to council at the next meeting.
is that something we should throw the bids online too, or is that, I don't know how that works. No. Okay.
So is there anything that I shouldn't miss at this meeting? Because I gotta leave in 10 minutes.
Let's get you, can we move Jake's
Sure.
road report up on rate paving?
Yes.
Okay, let's have that.
Okay.
Public works.
So,
I need to be fair. but-
published online.
Yeah.
So paving has begun. Just wanted to let everyone know. They went through and they ground up all of the sections that we will be replacing. There was a little bit of miscommunication. I don't know how the best way to put this.
Not on the borough's,
Not on our side.
not on our side.
So
That's the best way to put
the proposed bid was turned in to Widmer, and Widmer gave out all the same information to everyone as to what to bid on. It got a little confusing when we had a meeting with one of the representatives from Wright Fryer, or Fryer Wright, however you say it, and Bill and I drove around with her to get an idea on where they're going to be paving. They wanted to see where exactly the roads were going to be paved. So this happened like real quick. Like she was just able to show up and do this. So we were kind of ill prepared for this. I just drove here straight from work. Bill drove here straight from work. And we drove her around. She did not have the actual sheet that said dimensions on exactly how far we had to go. So we guessed it. Simple terms. And she just marked out the street. And I said, listen, you know, you're gonna have to use the spec sheet in order to accurately do this job. I mean, you already did it, so like, we're gonna do it this way. Couple weeks later, and we marked all the lines and everything. Couple weeks later, I get a phone call. This guy is freaking out. He has no clue where he's supposed to be and what's supposed to be done. So again, called off work, flew down to West Mayfield, and I called Bill. I said, "Where are you at?" He was actually in Beaver Falls, so I had him swing down to Widmer, pick up the official sheet that was definitely required to do this job. And then I drove around with one of their employees to actually mark out what was going on. There were a few changes. This is something that probably should have happened when I was with the first employee. He mentioned that we couldn't do some of the halves that we put down on paper for 43rd because of the way the road is set up. If they would have ground that half out, there would have been a 2-inch gap in between pavement to pavement. So he suggested full length, cut it down this way, whatever. So we were trying to fudge it around so that it would actually work out right. I can give you a quick example. So I actually don't have the paperwork because I actually had to give him my paperwork after this was all said and done with.
Here's my bitch about this whole thing. Why isn't that paperwork left here in a file cabinet labeled so that anybody who needs it can come in and get it?
I never bought the paperwork.
Well, it should be here. It should be here and accessible for every one of you at that table.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that
I called Bill, and Bill was here, and he had to go here, and it should be here. That's what this building's for.
I agree, but we don't work in this building. That's the problem.
But you should be leaving the paperwork here. But he had the paperwork. He got the stuff from Widmer. It should be here in a file.
Yeah,
Could be online.
Every one of you
or online
should have
or something.
access to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not this running around trying to figure out
believe me,
who's
I don't
where.
like running around. I agree. Right there
It's
with
just
you.
ridiculous. We have all this space, all these file cabinets, and there's nothing in them but garbage.
Yeah. Well, the other issue that we had was this paperwork was never obtained or given to the borough.
And whose fault is that?
Widmer.
And who has been communicating with them?
Bill. So.
I actually said something about that to Widmer. I said, you should be communicating with me, not.
They just drag everything on forever and ever. They should have a timeline. If I give you paperwork and this is what I need it in 2 weeks, not 3 months.
Right.
That's bullshit. They work for you.
Mm-hmm.
They work for me.
Yeah, we pay them a lot of money.
Yeah.
So, 43rd Street, originally it was proposed to 150 feet long by 10 feet wide. That was considered our half. It actually came out to 150 by full length, which is 18. So we ended up having to go over 8 feet by 150 feet long. So that is going to be an increase on cost. We had another increase on that same road where we were going to do a 10 by 10 patch. Well, over 3 or 4 months of not doing anything, it got bigger. And that went to 43 by full, again, 18. So we had to increase that by 30 something feet. So again, another big increase. Not big, but in retrospect.
It's costing us money.
It's costing us more money.
All this goofing around is costing us money.
There was another area on Orchard that is not 55. It came out to 66 in order to do it the correct way. Like that, there was no way around it. That's the correct way. But then we started saving again. When we got to West 7th, instead of 50 by 20, we went with a 42 by 11. So now that's less. That's more coming back into our pockets again, which I was hopeful to try and get it as close to equal as I could with the amount of time and
Well, we have
very
enough.
little.
We have-
I know we do, but the last thing you want to do is just completely blow it by $50,000. You know what I mean? So
I'm not complaining to you. I'm complaining about the whole
I know.
process,
I get it.
period, not you. It should never get to the point that it got to. We shouldn't be paving in November, sorry.
I
We just
agree.
shouldn't be.
Well, and it still may not
And this
happen.
all started back in March
I
and
think it's too
April.
late now. I don't think they shouldn't be even making.
They're telling me they should be here by the end of the week, but
Sure, they're gonna do it, cause they're gonna get paid, but when it
It's too
falls
cold.
apart,
It's gonna come right
and we have to do
well, no,
it a
the
second time,
they
we're not
won't.
saving
They
any
won't
money.
sell them the pavement if the weather conditions are not good. They're not buying their pavement from. They're not making the pavement themselves. They're buying it from Lindy Paving or whatever big paving company they get it from. They are kind of picky about that. I don't think it's like the end all. It's definitely
Even
not
if they lay it, the
optimal.
road's not gonna be, it's gonna be wavy is from what I understand is if you pave late in the year.
And it very well could. I don't know.
Well, we just have to let them know that. I mean, what's the weather here for the next week?
30.
12 degrees.
I don't think.
Real quick is like, what's the, they're going
The high's
to charge
gonna be
us what's
36.
in their bid spec at that price for the additional, right?
We don't
On
know.
Wednesday.
Nobody ever gave me an additional price
Well,
or anything.
on their bid, it says what they're grinding at, or, you know, what they're milling at what
You're asking if it's
amount.
gonna be the same charge for
Yeah,
the
so it's gotta
additional.
be the same charge if
Yeah,
they're
it
doing
should
it.
be.
Yes, it should
Yeah.
be. Yes. I don't think there's anything in there that says they can double the
I
price
don't
on us for.
Yeah, but I don't want them to come and say, oh, we had to go another, 100 square feet or whatever that looks
They
like.
still have to go with their bid.
Right, it's gonna have to go with the bid. The problem is Jenna and I found some discrepancies in their bid. And that's what I wanted to bring up tonight. Also, before I forget, I'm gonna finish this list here. Patterson Avenue went from 220 to 200 foot, and instead of 24 feet, we went to 20. So we saved again there. So again, hopeful that it equals out in the wash. We are getting Bowden done, and now this was the concerning thing to me. Just hearing guys talk down there, I heard 200 and very low 200 ton margins being thrown around. Like people were actually saying like, we're going to use around 200 tons and blah, blah, blah. But while we were out with that girl, this brings me back to it. We only wrote down a very small section on Bowden, and it sounded like we were like real close to our bid with that. But when we actually got the paperwork and seen what was actually bid, it's 794 feet by 24 wide. That is a huge section. I think we only marked out like 150 foot by half. So, again, no idea. After all of everything was calculated, I think it came out to 311 tons if it's done by pen and paper is what's going to be used. So I don't know if they underbid it. I don't know if I don't know what's going to happen. I have no clue. But I know that tonnage wise, it was bid for through Widmer through their calculations 311. So if they underbid it, that's not on the borough, I don't believe. But yeah, that's all there is for that. Is there anything else I should bring up as far as anything I told you guys? Because there was a lot of stuff that happened in that 10 hours.
I just want to say that in February, I'm going to introduce legislation, a resolution that compels the borough to submit paving bids no later than May, or April, I don't know, we'll figure that out. So that, one, this doesn't happen again, we're not paving this late in the year. Two, that we have time to review, legal review, but also the technical review of these contracts and to work out these bugs before the crisis.
Well, while Jenna and I were on the phone, I don't have it right here in front of me, but we had our,
Cost of the ton?
what's that?
The cost of the ton
Yeah.
we discovered?
So there was the original bid, and then there was with option 1 and 2. So these two are together, and this one's by itself. And everybody bid it the same way. So we found out that option 1 cost more money than option 2 as per tonnage. So they were charging us $2
In the first option,
or
they were charging us $210.
$210
And the second
per
one, it was
ton.
only $134. So they messed up their numbers.
So the numbers
somewhere.
came in like real low on the second, but it makes no sense because if they're paying this much for the tonnage here, why isn't it the same down here?
We're gonna have to get this.
Or
to
was the
attorney,
mistake
too.
made on the top and
Check.
copied on the bottom? Maybe the 220 was the mistake.
It could have been.
I seem to recall something about the milling. When they mill off good road, they can sell that back to offset their cost.
Well, they're not gonna sell it if they gave it all to us.
Right. The part of that is if it's salvageable millings, they can take that back to the plant.
Sure.
The crap that we got originally was berm that had non-asphalt mixed in.
Yeah.
So I know there's a thing, like if you get no millings back, that they could recycle the milling.
Sure.
It's a lower cost. So I don't know if that might be
It very well could have
what you were
been,
looking at.
but it was weird because as soon as they got here, they were happily bringing it up here to just give it away so that they wouldn't have to haul it. We got all 14 loads of millings up here.
So I think what we need to do is research about the temperature.
Yeah.
Because if it's too cold, we don't want it done this year, and then next year, we get next year's roads done at the same time then, maybe.
Possibly. I don't know what they're gonna do because all of their equipment's sitting at the park. And they have a mobilization fee, and I know we already paid
Well,
that.
that's their problem, because they should have showed up. You know, they shouldn't have brought it all out if they couldn't do it.
Right.
Well, we'll make a policy that this paving will happen sooner in the year. We'll work out, the contract reviews are really important. As we found out the police contract that we have, there are two clauses that don't make sense right next to each other. No one caught that apparently. So we need time to review this stuff. The contracts and agreements are really important because they're often expenditures of public monies. Two, they're legally binding.
Sorry, I couldn't make it.
Abby.
Abby's tomorrow night.
Nope.
No,
Not
Abby's
locked or anything.
Why did I just get a message that says just it's tomorrow?
Does Widmer have a contract with us too?
Send a picture.
Kevin?
Not aware of any service contract with Widmer.
Well, then maybe we need to do that.
Yeah, there's another resolution coming that
And-
will require contracts and agreements
This just popped up.
with all of our service providers, right, and our employees and, appointed officials, so that we know explicitly the terms and conditions that we're dealing with these obligations.
Sorry, going back to that asphalt thing, it says, it's unsafe to pave a road when the air temperature falls below 50 degrees Fahrenheit and it continue falling, and the ground temperature also is below 50 degrees. The asphalt must stay between 220 and 290 during compaction, and the colder ambient temperature can cause it to cool too quickly, causing the ripples and causing it to
So
be
we need to
weaker
let
on
them
road
know that
surface.
they can't do it this year then. Right?
We could try that. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
if it says, we don't want to put something down that ain't gonna work.
Right, but if we agreed that, and I don't even know what the conditions of it would, but hey, if it's a nice day, you can go ahead and pave, then maybe that's how we should proceed. Because I don't know how you get around that, because if they push that, we can find ourselves in the court. Right? I'm not saying that, but
It all
it's
depends on
potential.
the PennDOT spec. It's up to Widmer.
Sure,
If
yeah.
they said, here's our spec to PennDOT standards, and PennDOT standards says, sure, you can pave when it's cold.
We should probably get a hold of Widmer then.
I think we need to look at that. If this is gonna be a problem from here to the end of the year, whether we should pave or not, and if the argument is in our favor, no, we should not pave, it's a waste,
We'll see you, Jake. I'll call you later.
then let's pursue that. But we need to have some sort of basis to be able to say that, because the contracts are 2-8 streets.
The liquid fuel money is absolutely tied to PennDOT spec.
Right, yeah.
So
we need to do a more careful review of where we are with that. That's something too, I think that we should sit down with the finance committee.
Jason.
Kind of get our heads around it.
Oh, okay.
We'll try to.
All right. get it.
Okay.
Okay.
So you wanna, go back to the beginning here?
Yeah.
Department committee discussions, administration.
I mean,
Oh, Eli has something.
Yeah, it should be.
He's the last one on the list.
Eli,
On the second page, I mean,
would you like
whatever you want.
the courtesy of,
You gotta get out.
showing the
There's
presentation?
no hurry to go in.
Okay.
Okay. You mind waiting till we get through?
I'm here, the whole meeting.
I think a lot of this is really, we could just discuss it, but a lot of this stuff is gonna end up with some sort of a motion, a resolution, at the next meeting. And those are already in the can, ready to go, they're drafted. So, but as long as we can sort of just understand what we're gonna do at the next meeting here. But under administration, the year-end obligation, so I created a municipal planner. Eventually, we'll make this a policy where we have an official municipal planner, so we do not drop the ball on contractual obligations, right? Deadlines for reports and so forth, right? So on this municipal planner, let's see. We have bid refuse, the bids were today, and the holiday party's on there, fire truck Santa, right, we need to deal with that at some point. There's actually the last day of a grant application, December 31st, that would have been good to know. There's a CAP report, corrective action report, Bill does every year. That's due by December 31st. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's required by DCED. I'm not sorry, DEP.
So what are we doing? Are we just going down the list here and talking?
Well, I'm just pointing out that we have, on this municipal planner, that I'm aware of, our municipal obligations to the end of the year are on this. So we need to take care of business, one way or another, according to these obligations. I'll give you another example. So when I went and I read through some contracts, I found that our youth baseball contract requires us to do a December meeting every year to sort of review where we are with that concession. That's a contractual obligation that should happen in December. That's not on anybody's radar, right?
So who says that?
It's in the contract.
In the baseball
It's in the
contract?
baseball contract.
Oh, okay.
Also, the contract says, that there should be monthly reports from youth baseball. I don't think that's necessarily been happening and so forth. But this municipal planner is going to keep our ass out of trouble if we can work this right, learn to use it right, stay ahead of it. And so on my Monday memos that I'm going to start sending out to council, there will be 3-month windows on there. So we'll be able to see 3 months out what our what are the things we have to deal with, right? Jenna has a heck of a lot of reports. I mean, a lot of reports that she's to deal with. Unemployment compensation, there's the road mileage stuff, there's all kinds of stuff. There are the sewer reports. We have our internal stuff, such as Bill has outfall. 3 times a year, I think, an outfall inspection stuff. And there's storm sewer inspections. I tried to put as much as that I knew about into this municipal planner, and it's just a spreadsheet, and it looks very complicated, but it's all sortable. You can look at it by date, by quarter. The whole spreadsheet, you can go by the department, public works, sewers. You can just sort that and see everything that we have to attend to. All that is far out as our 2030 deadline or extension expiration for the Comcast. But that's also the youth baseball expiration at 2030. So we can put as much as we want onto this thing, but we just need to pay attention and use it so we don't get ourselves in trouble. So that's really what I wanted to mention there for that issue. Jenna had sent something about the Pennsylvania General Services Federal Surplus Property Program. That's offered by the state. It says if the state has all kinds of surplus property and tools and you name it, road stuff, we could potentially bid on that stuff.
Is it online now?
There's stuff online, yeah.
Because I used to go to that. They used to have it up in up by Hermitage. What's right below Hermitage there?
Sharon.
Where the road splits, Wheatland.
Wheatland, yeah.
They used to have the surplus thing right there, and I would go up there. I could buy stuff Well, I went with Bob Mazant. He had a thing, and we would go up there together and purchase stuff there. But they closed that down. Now you got to go to Harrisburg. So if it's online,
Yeah,
you
there's,
still got to go to Harrisburg to pick it up. Probably
well, I looked at the website based on what you sent me. I mean, there's just a ton of stuff.
there is.
A lot of it's just crazy, not even relevant to us. But to be able to, just to be eligible for this, we have to enroll. And so I'm gonna offer a motion next meeting that we go ahead and.
Now we
enroll.
used to be enrolled in it. I got us enrolled in that many years ago.
Well,
I don't know if you have to renew.
this is probably something we should just go ahead and do, because this just came out, right? The request for this just came out. I mean, if we submit and they say, oh, you're already enrolled,
Yeah.
then that's good,
Okay.
okay, we're good. But I think we should just go, it doesn't cost us anything to enroll in it, but we have to do it, because there's some paperwork, right? It has to be from the borough there, so we'll take care of
And
that.
there's a lot of stuff. They had chairs, not like these, but
Tons of them.
boardroom chairs. They had cases of toilet paper, cases of paper towel. A lot of this stuff came from FEMA. They had FEMA trailers, brand spanking new FEMA trailers from Louisiana.
Katrina.
So they had them sitting out in the field out here, but the government purchased them all, but didn't take them down there for some reason. But then we found out that they had, what's that stuff that they have in Cushing?
Asbestos.
Not asbestos, something else.
Bed bugs.
Huh?
Bed bugs.
No, some kind of toxic, something or
Is
other.
that plastic chemical toxic? The one that kind of like the stuff that leaked out of.
I can't remember what it was, but it had that. It was in the carpet and in the pads that go on the benches. Formaldehyde. That's it. But these trailers were selling for they were like $30,000, $40,000 trailers, and they were getting rid of them for like $5,000 each.
And there's some deals.
Oh yeah.
So this is really part of which should be our cost savings initiative, right? Just to find stuff where we can save money however we can, but some of this stuff's gonna take the effort, you know.
You gotta look at how we have to get it though.
Yeah, well, this is right here. So Jenna received this, you know, I think she sent everybody this. So there's an application, so we authorized Jenna to go ahead and enroll us
Yeah,
in
but
there, and then it'll be on our radar.
then you have to look at, how you have to get this stuff.
Right.
I mean, you could probably buy that board right there if it's there, you know what I mean? But you probably have to go to Harrisburg to pick it up.
Right. Yeah, if some stuff is, if it's cost prohibitive, then we
Right.
have to pass on it. So.
Yeah, that'd be good to do.
The next item here is a policy issue, offboarding council members. And as soon as we offboard council members, Bill and Jake, we're gonna have to onboard some new council members, right? So Justin, you wanna sponsor that resolution to direct the policy?
Yeah, that's my concerns are like the void that happens, right? And then just like some of the things, making sure that whatever I was trying to get, right? There's the financial statement stuff that needs to be filed for offboarding people and onboarding, every single year. All that stuff is required and someone has to keep track of it, so. Sorry, Joe.
Oh, we're gonna make it easy for you. This is gonna be a no-brainer. So,
But we should at least have something in place that says like, we are doing this is where that's kept, etc.
So who are the new council members?
Sue Wood is one of
yeah, Sue,
BK.
Bob?
John.
yeah, Buckeye, Sue.
Who else?
John's returning, I'm returning, Justin's returning.
Are we missing one? Sue?
Well,
BK?
Ryan resigned, right? So
Oh, and there's the guy who lives on Harbison. He was the third,
Right.
year.
Used to be on council with you.
Bostic?
Bostic.
No, he didn't.
No,
I thought
Rank,
Bostic was on
Mr.
the-
Rank.
Rank.
Who's
Ryan
that?
I have no idea.
Yeah, he lives up on just on that hill on the point there. At Mayfield Alley, Harbison and Craig, up on the white.
Yeah, Ryan?
House. That's where he lives. I never heard of Mr. Rank.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but there were other ones that had a few votes. Do they just have to go down the line if he doesn't want it, go down to the next one?
Does this guy know that he made it? Does he know he's our council member?
I mean, I never got a phone call, and technically I won two seats.
Maybe he'll show up.
Well, I'm making a call tomorrow. I'll
Tell him to
square
show
this
up at the
with
next
everybody.
meeting, maybe, if he can.
Yeah, we'll get to the bottom of this. So I'm gonna call and find out for myself and everybody else.
I thought there was a name that I didn't know who it
Well,
was.
Jake, one moment, please. So I have this resolution, it's a resolution establishing human resources policy and procedures for onboarding and offboarding personnel. This policy resolution just says, we're gonna create this procedure, we're gonna require this to happen, and then this will be a standard operating procedure guideline that will just fill in all the details. But this will make sure that we start to dot all the i's and cross the t's for people coming and going. Because we do have, there are passwords involved, there's real property involved, there's just a lot of stuff that's involved. It's standard HR operating stuff. So we're gonna, I don't know if this is on the next meeting, or maybe the next one, maybe in January, it could be. You want to say something?
No, you said about voting being done. Is that gonna be released after
The what?
the numbers?
Oh, they're out already.
They're out, yeah. So if you go to like the Beaver County election results, like all the write-ins and names are in there, right? On
And you posted it on Facebook too, didn't you?
Yeah, it's on the Concerned Citizens of West Mayfield Facebook.
Oh, they're on it, okay.
But I never got a call or anything, so I mean I don't know if you have.
But it's true, there are forms, right? So there was one county I was researching, they sent out a packet, and in that packet are the finance disclosure form, your ethics form, your acceptance form. It's all official stuff to get you up and going. So apparently, our bureau's not doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
and
know,
I
they
think
do
on
that.
the ballot it was like no more than 3 too, right? On all of that stuff. So
Yeah.
and then that's what it says on the election results. So it's almost like 6.
We'll work it out.
Yeah, so we'll figure that out.
Okay.
Okay, so the next thing on here is, I guess it's taken care of because the rental property ordinance was posted today, so that has been re-advertised.
Okay.
And so we can take that up as business next meeting. We can actually vote on it next meeting.
Good.
So my question
How much did
here,
that cost?
Joe did it for us.
Oh.
Yeah,
my question under finance down here,
the first time it cost a lot though, so I'm sure.
so this section under government under ordinances, I think we should start, thinking about whether this is acceptable. I think it is.
What's that?
The final version of the rental?
Now, is there one
Okay.
for two?
The question I have is, you posted or sent us something that you found lost.
Oh, the ordinances?
Ordinances? What exactly did that say that we already had
Oh,
about
That
having a rental?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a snack
I
right
mean,
there.
I would like to see them.
We haven't, you probably find it, we had an ordinance already that required rental property owners to
Right.
supply the names to the borough secretary every year, and when they changed, tenancy.
But I guess the question in my mind is, do we have to adopt a new one or just revise what's already existing?
Does there have to be a
You know, because now you got two things coming.
Does there have to be a
I
line
think
that
it's
says
different.
that like the
has
new
to
one
get involved.
supersede or
Well, we could do that, we could actually, because it's been advertised, and that's actually, what we consider a de minimis or a minor change, really, just to note that, now that I just found that.
Right.
We could have a line in there that says this supersedes that particular ordinance, and then we'll be good to go on that. So we can still make a few changes to that, but I think it would behoove us to go ahead and just take action on this at
Yes,
the next meeting.
definitely.
Because honestly,
You
the
guys
letters
can work.
gotta get, they gotta get out, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I mean, and these new form, the application, they gotta go, you know? I mean, I don't know.
So that's all, I pinned down for under general administration stuff.
That's everything I found.
That was missing.
Yeah, everyone said that we didn't have, and I was looking for something else, and
I sorted, those are resolutions and ordinances, I sorted them out by year every seat had a different year. It was, but they're, you know, I mean, they're not organized within the year, but, and I threw out a bunch of duplicates.
I just figured there was like one or two or something, you know, I was just.
Yeah, I was looking for
Yeah.
something else and I like opened it and I was like, what does that say? Like, and then I just started digging like through the craziness that is the.
And what
Filing
else?
cabinet I was
And what
given.
else is in the office back there too?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to
Just
it.
in
We'll-
case.
we'll
Anyway,
get to it.
sorry.
Anyway.
I just was
Want me to go
blown
on?
away.
Good.
Okay, so under culture and recreation, that's actually how they phrase this stuff in the budgeting stuff. Fire truck Santa. Okay, so the question is, if we're going to buy the candy for Beaver Falls to go around by fire truck and distribute it, we need to have a number, and by motion we could make
Ask
that.
for that.
So you have an idea?
Did you
how
talk
much?
to Beaver Falls about this?
No, not yet.
No, they did at our town meeting.
Yeah.
They said they would.
If we
do
bought it, they would do it.
Okay.
But we do need to get with them and organize,
Right, sure.
you know, this honestly, but we haven't bought candy, we haven't appropriated candy,
You gotta bag it up.
you know. So, I'll tell you what happened last year, and I think we should pay attention to this kind of stuff. Janet Helbig amended the agenda to put purchase of the candy. This was December of last year, but the minutes don't record any vote or any other mention of the candy, but the candy was purchased. So the borough actually, expended close to $500 without a vote, according to the public record. That's some shady shit that we just have to stop, right? We have to stop doing that stuff. So back to the point here. So I'm putting this on you, Mayor.
That's
So come up with a number and for the motion, and then we'll vote on that. We'll take care of that. Is there anything for
Nora has a question.
And the thing is, do you bag it up for them in bags, or how's this gonna
We
work?
have to talk to them, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd suggest reaching out to them and.
See how they wanna do it. Cause they may want us to buy bags.
Right.
That would just be lunch bags? Is that how they always did that? Just hand out lunch bags?
Yes, lunch.
Okay.
Does the council need to support the holiday party in any way?
No,
No?
no, we never do that. We just do our own thing.
Sometimes it was $300 years ago, right?
Well, I think they did the first time and then we gave it back, didn't we?
But I thought I would ask and see if that was necessary.
We just,
So I already mentioned that in the contract with the youth baseball folks, that a meeting needs to take place in December as per the contract. It kind of just says, hey, where are we? How's everything going? Whatever. So I don't even know who our representative is. Bob, you crossed out the managing borough representative on the contract and put yourself in there. So
I did?
yeah.
I never had the contract.
Yeah.
Somebody did,
It's
you
on
mean?
there. Oh, somebody.
Well, I mean, Jake and Janet were running that.
Yeah.
With the baseball, they were running it.
So I think,
Jake was mostly dealing with them, I
Yeah, with
think.
Scott and them.
I don't think this has to be a big thing. I think we just need to have some sort of,
Updates.
Yeah, that's-
Should we have them show up at the next meeting?
I don't think that's necessary.
No? Okay.
Phone call?
We're trying to make these meetings.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
phone call?
know.
Phone call?
Phone call?
Yeah,
I don't
that
think
sounds
that's
good.
necessary. I think, Jake, Parks, whatever, just reach out to them, get a report. Hey, how's it going? Whatever, any issues, whatever, and just report back.
Oh,
Why don't
I
I
took
just,
it like you were saying there needed to be like
Yeah.
a meeting with
Well,
them.
that's what it says, a meeting, but that could be.
Like an update.
Okay, well, we're just confused. That's why we're looking at each other like
Well,
that.
it does say that the baseball folks and the borough managing rep will meet every December to just talk about
Okay.
things, right?
So
It's
Jake
that
just
once a
needs-
year catch-all, hey, how are we doing?
I could just ask him if he could just write a quick summary of everything that's.
Perfect. Do that.
Yeah. And then I think moving forward, Jenna, if you could add to the agenda as a standing baseball report
For
for
like
youth baseball under,
well, they're not doing anything right now because of
It's winter.
it's winter.
right.
So just in the in season.
Yeah, I guess. But we, it is contractual that they provide a monthly.
Even out of season? But they're not doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's no report, but I'm just,
Oh, okay.
if it's helpful for us to just put a standing item there and just, gloss over it when we come to it, if it's not applicable.
Okay.
But if we don't, it's not on there now, no one knew about it, so we haven't been doing it, right?
Yeah.
So that takes care of culture. Now, finance, the Diamond Cell Tower agreements, where are we on that?
Joe was supposed to be finding out about the land,
The land thing.
who owns the land or whatever.
There was some,
Yeah.
there was something about it.
Joe was supposed to be reaching out to them to find out something about the land, and that is as far as any of us
The
have been
transfer
informed.
taxes, right?
Something like that.
Something like
Yeah.
Okay, so we're still working on
Yeah,
that.
so that's good.
But we all saw it. We all saw that. We talked about it at the last meeting. It looks good to me, but I'll defer to whatever Joe's working on there. Okay, there's that.
Already did the refuse contract bid opening.
You want to take on fixed asset list?
So according to the finance audit, it's like one of our downfalls is a fixed asset list, right? We don't have, and we kind of talked about this a little bit with the insurance, they kind of rattled off. You said it would be kind of easy to put together. But on the other side of it is when we were having that stamp meeting, they're asking, what equipment do you have? And Jake's just like, oh, we have this, and we're like, oh, we have a paint sprayer, or like we have this attachment for $1. And like, so just that in general, what our insurance are. So at the next meeting, I do have a resolution to just start one of those, right? And that'll help, I think, for everything. But
We could get that rate from the insurance guy, I would imagine, because we go through that with him every year.
correct. Yeah, that's why I figured it would be pretty easy. So I do have a resolution that's already drafted for that we can put together. I don't know if you want me to read it specifically what it would be. That way it's just Kevin's thoughts and feelings. It was like a page and a half, and I narrowed it down very shortly. So, but basically, it's just accurate documentation of borough and property capital assets is required for proper financial management and annual auditing. Just a fixed asset list that you, as the borough secretary treasurer, shall be responsible for its development, upkeep, and safekeeping, and reviewed annually. So, good.
We worry about like a $8 screwdriver, is it?
No, we can't do
500, do you have a
I
dollar
don't.
line on it?
It would.
I'd say mostly capital purchases.
Yeah, I would say
not
like
just hand tools.
like, do I have to put something in there?
$1,000
Like,
chainsaw counts?
Oh yeah, something like that.
Okay, what about a $900 drill?
Sure.
Okay, where is the?
He brings up
There's
a good
usually a
point.
number involved with that because you're talking capital thing.
Well,
Yeah,
those
that's
details,
just- yeah, I
we
just
can,
wondered.
we can write into an operational plan
Yeah.
that would define that, but what this policy resolution says,
We're just gonna have one.
We're
We
gonna
shall
create
have one,
Yeah.
yeah, and
So-
does it say it'll be annual review?
Yes,
Yeah.
there's the draft that I made. So I will work on an SOG with the actual policy on dollar amount. If you guys want to roughly give me a dollar amount that everyone cares about, 500.
I'd say
1,000.
anything over 5.
Yeah.
Because that's
So these resolutions, it seems like we're doing a lot of resolutions, and we
it
are,
does.
because we have had no operations documented, no procedures, established. So these resolutions are basically the council side of saying, we're going to do this now forward, educational, right? So now we all know and we're all accountable to this. And then it directs further to, we will work out the details through the operational stuff. Yeah. Yeah, so this is a part of that whole catch-up initiative, reform initiative, that we're just gonna have to slog through as we discover lots of things that have been deficit, right? One of the things we've been talking about deficit. So tonight, why are we here in December trying to get through this refuse contract with all the problems that we imposed on ourselves? We're shooting ourselves in the foot here, right? So
I have that drafted as well for
You're
next
responsible?
meeting. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just basically saying 6 months prior to the contract, which will be on the monthly planner that I believe you're proposing, right? Next meeting too. Same concept. Within 6 months, we bring that to attention and start working on it before the expiration.
Good, that makes sense.
When I was looking at the police contract, I found that, the fire contract, I found there were some dates in there that I wasn't aware of. Like June the 26th, there's a meeting between us and the fire department to sort of, hey, talk about it. Who knew?
June of next year.
Next year, 26th. So I put that on the calendar. So I went and I looked at the contracts that we had, and I actually factored in the 6-month out deadline. I put those on a municipal planner so we can be on top of that stuff. So this will go a long ways to help us keep on top of that stuff. Investment of surplus funds.
Yeah, so that's the next resolution that I kind of drafted, which we can review that. But basically, it's to take any of the funds that are not required in a 3-month operation expense. All right, so is considered surplus on any single or any fund, right? And we can take that and put it into a plug-in investment account. That way, we just at all times we can move that by resolution based on a calculation. So that I have that related to an SOG that basically has the investment standards, right? Of going by Act 10, the liquidity of the investment, making sure that we can pull from it, no penalties and stuff like that. And what the calculation would be is the investable surplus equals the current balance minus the max 3-month reserve, right? Would be what can be moved. So, and that would be under any physical money that we have, even though the fund it has a minimal balance of 75,000. That fund can actually be moved into an investment, but on the accounting books, it's that. So that's pretty much what that would require. And then with that is, transaction forms of the dates that we're sending it, what account we're sending it to. Does it match the Act standards, the specifications, and how we came up with that amount of money, right? So that way, next meeting or whatnot, we can look at what our actual balances are, figure out what we can put in there, and move those to the plate and start making money off that stuff. And going forward, we get more money, and we just automatically do that. There's already a resolution saying that we do that all the time. So
good
motion, I think, at that point.
Yeah, we'll have that resolution on the table the next time. Why this is so important is that not only does this investment money yield a dividend, right? But it's also wealth building, right? We have an account. So really, we're talking about investing over $1 million into the Pliget investment instrument, which will yield, at the current 3.8%, will yield an extra $38,000 a year, right? And that actually closes our inflow-outflow deficit.
Yeah.
Right? So we were at,
So is Pliget better than what the bank was offering?
So the thing that's nice about Pliget is it's, first of all, the safest you're gonna
Yeah.
get. And
It's already approved.
It's already approved through like borough things, and then also it's fluid. So if something catastrophic were to come up and we gotta come up with $100,000, there's no penalty, there's no, you can just move it back out.
And she just said something, they're doing a debit card.
Yeah, they have a
feature on
debit
it,
card feature as well now.
where you can literally use it as a bank account, basically.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
just makes sense to move
And you're
that.
just getting so much more interest wise than if you're just having it in
That's
First
good,
National
then.
Bank,
So if we, because this is public money, we can invest this in FDIC insured places. If we do not, we have to put up a bond that would make up the difference over the FDIC.
Which most banks are FDIC insured.
Yeah, so
Most of them are,
Right,
yeah.
they-
according to Act 10 of 2016, it's treasury bills, notes, bonds, federal agencies, securities like GNMA, FNMA, certificates of deposits that are FDIC insured, Pennsylvania municipal bonds, commercial paper rated in top short-term category by at least 2 rating agencies, bankers acceptances, repurchase agreements, money market mutual funds rated AAAM, and local government investment pools, so Pliget Investment PA, but you don't have to go through those hoops with the Pliget stuff, yeah.
And what's nice about putting in the Pliget too is the accounts already exist. Like, whereas we're not creating new accounts, and now we have another thing we have to pay attention to, and the accounts already exist, and they're already sitting there with bare minimum in them.
And that's my concern over above everything is the inflow outflow of money. I don't want to spend a dime until that's like even, that's
Yeah.
just how my head is, right?
Well, let me share the numbers with you. So our proposed budget actually had a $27,000 deficit. That's between the expected income, the revenue, and the expenditures. We didn't factor in this investment, these monies. We actually will end up with an $11,000 surplus, right? So we totally blew out. So we made up $38,000 with this. This is with the diamond money plus the aqua money, and plus moving all the stuff we had different places into this one consolidated instrument to make the money. So
Yeah, I think right now the estimated amount would be like 700-ish, I think, is that ballpark without the diamond? I think
Yeah, without
that's,
diamond, it's around 700.
yeah, I think it's like 1.1 with diamond. Is that what you got?
what?
Just the total surplus. I'm doing napkin math on this.
Well, if we didn't have the diamond money, it would be 22,000 interest revenue, right? Capital gains.
Yeah, I'm saying the total
Yeah, he's
amount
saying
that we're
total.
moving to Pliget. It would be about 7.
Oh, 582.
582.
320.
Okay.
Yeah. So the difference between with diamond is 22,000 without and 38,000 with diamond. So, yeah, even if we do not have the diamond money, say for whatever that reason doesn't go through, we still only have a $5,000 deficit from 27,000 to 5,000. Boy, we could live with that. You know what I mean? So that's a real win-win. It's a windfall for us. I think we're being very smart about, the wealth investing, the extra capital gains investing strategy here. It seems to be lining up, right? Yeah, and it's all renewable every year, right? That's going to renew. So that's where we are with that. But we do need a resolution. Right? You got the resolution
Yes.
authorizing that.
Yep. So next week I have 3 resolutions, which I don't know if you want copies of the proposed ones or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I have on the online stuff, the links to the online version of all those.
The only question is do we need a motion for an SOG on the investment policy, or is that more of a resolution?
I think that comes later.
Okay.
I think what this resolution does specifically is authorizes the sweep of.
Because we can kind of roll that all into one, is what I'm thinking. Is if the resolution says we're going to invest according to this SOG.
It says a policy. Do you have it? Do you have that?
Should we
So this is
Should we send a copy of these resolutions over to Bill so we don't get a bunch of questions? Send them over before the meeting so he can look at them and call us if he has a question.
He's on the Monday memo list where all this stuff is there.
Okay.
Can't make it more convenient for him.
Accept the bids on all
Well,
this.
we'll convey that when
Okay.
finance goes through that. This isn't the one I revised. A revised one.
Yeah, the one you revised, there was only one comment on it, and so I just kind of took it and shortened it up to what it. Because you had a comment on there that said, "Good."
Oh, but what I took off was any specific mention of an SOG number.
Okay.
You put a number down, then you change it SOG.
But that's what I'm saying, is like, we can roll this up if we do the SOG at the same time.
We could, I don't think we'll have the wherewithal to do that.
Okay.
It could come later.
That's fine.
This is
I'll
just the
change it, I'll
authorization.
update it,
But
but,
I do mention it to, as per the borough's investment policy,
okay,
so that would,
Yeah, we
whatever
can
that
do
turned out to be.
that's fine.
Just send me whatever you want me
Yeah.
to print for next week.
I can do that.
Just email it to me.
Did we ever get verification on that police contract expenditure? The 80,000,
I don't think, no.
okay. So I guess we'll just roll with that. Okay, the budget. So I think we are, we have the proposed budget approved. It is, it's on the website. It's going to be out there, public notice on the 4th.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, Thursday.
it's
Tomorrow.
It's skirting that 10-day window.
I sent it on Wednesday morning,
Let's,
and they did not email me back till Monday.
let's live in the real world here. But it has been available to the public there. I want to tell you something. It's interesting. I think we all should pay attention to this, because I put on the concerned citizens, I put a little poll up there about this budget, proposed budget. And I didn't put a link to it. I just want to see how people would react. And I said, hey, do you approve? You disapprove? Have you seen it? Or did I put a little flippant fourth comment about the Steeler game? But most people have not even seen the proposed budget. I said I approved it. Jason Heaton says he disapproved it.
He disapproved it?
Yeah.
Did you say why?
No, I didn't.
I thought he said that he didn't even see it, and then he disapproved it, and I was like,
But I just want to get a sense of, like, are people tuned into this at all, right? But most people, I can appreciate their honesty, said no, never saw it, which is kind of just is the reality of, we just got to keep hammering communications, keep putting it out there. But when we have to take action, like next week, look, we did our due diligence, we followed the law, yada yada. Let's take the action we need to take, and let's get this thing done, right? So I think we're ready to vote on it next week, the proposed budget. Especially in light of where we are with this income stuff. So
I have a question. If, you know how we pay so much to advertise, you put this big listing, could you actually put something in there that says basically what we're doing, and you can look at it online on this website? Could you do that with your advertising?
I don't know what they changed on that new
Because
thing
that
you
would
sent,
save us a ton of
if
money.
there was any reference to that, but I know, like, one of the things that I just learned is, like, the only cost saving suggestions that the PA Boroughs Association has is advertise all your meetings one time. Don't make emergency meetings, and then you're fine. So as per to, like, what that actually says, and can you put a link in? I have no idea.
It'd be nice if we could just say, hey, we're advertising this, and if you
well,
want
that's
to
what I
see
did
it.
for the garbage contract, is I said application available on the website, and then put the link, or the website. I put that.
Like, what did you have to put on for the one you just redid,
I didn't do that one, Joe did
rental
it.
property.
the rental property?
Oh, Joe that's a book. That is huge.
I
But
don't know, I didn't do it, he
If
did
we're
it.
paying by the line, boy, that's a.
But that's why I'm saying, if you could just say, hey, we're gonna start this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know
Go to
the
this
laws
link.
to that.
I think the law says you could publish the whole text, which would be crazy, or you can publish an abbreviated version or a synopsis or something, but also say that the full text is available. I think you have to sort of say, like, you sent it to the paper.
What it is.
That it's available at the Borough Secretary's office.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Start doing that
think-
instead of paying all this money. I'll have to ask Joe about that, I guess.
Yeah, but whatever he did for this one that I saw today, that's lengthy.
Which one did he do today?
The property ordinance, rental property ordinance, yeah. So, okay. So we talked about the need to enforce, be on top of the contract terms and conditions and all that stuff. And I think that falls on finance committee, right? To make sure that that stuff happens. Under government here, the rental property ordinance, we're talking about that. I think it's acceptable. It's already published, the notices out there. It's up to us how we want to handle this, if we want to make that change, that small change about rescinding that from the ordinance. We can do that.
I think you should just do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would just change it.
We did
Are-
that,
are-
we did that with the burn bans in the past.
Yeah.
Part of our thing was repeal of.
Yeah.
But now we know what that is. That'll,
Are you going to email Joe then about that, or?
I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that thing and see.
And I would just make it super generic.
Yeah, it'll just be one little sentence there. Okay. And who knows, I might find some other stuff there. I don't know if you know this, there's been a recent Supreme Court ruling about the 24-hour rule for the agendas. I totally disagree with it. A lot of people disagree with it. A lot of people don't. What the Supreme Court ruled is that agencies such as our council can now, at a meeting, add something to the agenda that was not previously advertised, but they have to say why they're adding it to the agenda and take a vote. Votes need to be recorded, and the next day a revised agenda needs to be published out there to the public. It's more
After the
administrative
meeting?
stuff after the meeting. If it's amended like that. There was the ability to do this, and we have been doing this, right? What this new ruling says now is it doesn't have to be, the council can decide anything at the last minute without 24-hour notice to the public. And this is where people were challenging this. And there's probably going to be legislation to sort of tighten this up that does not permit this. Because what people are saying is, because citizens have a right to come and comment before council would take action on stuff. That's no longer the case now. You don't have to put it in the notice, you just show up at the meeting and say, well, I want to add, let's do, add this contract or add this whatever, and just do it.
Yeah, that's not right.
I don't think it's right at all. But that's where we are now with this. So I'll be introducing a resolution down the line that allows us to hold a higher standard for ourselves, that we would try to put the agenda items 24 hours out there before citizens, right? We can hold ourselves to a higher, more ethical standard there, so.
So do you have to put the agenda in the paper every?
No.
Oh.
No, I just give it to Kevin and it's made available online.
Because in the beginning of the year, all the meetings are advertised.
Mhm.
So
So then why do you have to advertise the day after?
That's part of the Sunshine Amendment that Justin, Aaronstein, Elwood City, he was actually a sponsor for this 24-hour agenda rule. Open transparency, more accountability, because, people were doing a switcheroo, right? How citizens going to come and even weigh in on an issue, they don't even know it's going to be voted on.
But they don't know what's going to be voted on to start with. They just know there's going to be a meeting.
No, the agenda lists, the agenda now lists the items that will be.
and that's posted on the website.
That's what I was just asking.
It's posted on the website, but they know that the meeting's there. But the agenda has to be available over 24 hours or within 24 hours before the meeting,
Right.
but not now.
And say on that 24-hour agenda.
So if it's not
posted-
in there and we do it, then you just have to you don't have to put it in the paper, right?
No,
You just
not
have to
paper.
put it on
Yeah.
on a website.
Say you have 3 things you're gonna vote on, right? You show up at the meeting, and so, let's just add a 4th one. Totally legal now, according to the Supreme Court. So before.
But then you just have to advertise it on the website
you
the following
You just have to
day.
republish it on the website.
Okay.
The amended agenda. We've done it a few
I thought
times.
you
Sometimes
meant
we
I thought
actually-
you meant it had to go to the paper.
But it's
No.
not usually for like voting purposes, it's usually just like, we changed this.
Yeah.
Type.
Well,
Okay.
it's a little. Okay, public safety. Eli. So I spent this all afternoon.
Did you, yeah, I was just gonna ask if you went to,
Yeah. So there was a
Madison's.
elected official thing down at the emergency management place. I thought it was so fascinating. It was wonderful, I thought. I have more questions than ever about, emergency management stuff. This year, we said, well, look, let's have our EOP revised. Eli followed suit. He came up with a revised one in September, according to our run-on plan. And so here we are, and ready to take this up to prove it. We don't necessarily have to prove it, that was our goal, right? But for whatever reason, say we have some issues with it or whatever still, but our goal is to get this thing ratified, right? So it'll be on the docket. But I asked Eli to come and just make a presentation about, what have been the changes from 2010 to 25. It's a lot of years, right, to catch up on. What are the changes? I sent out, by the way, an email to people with a sort of a AI overview of what was the difference between the 24 and 25, the most significant differences. It's a lot of stuff, no doubt about it, but I just thought it would be great for us to hear from Eli, because you wrote it. You're the guy.
I didn't really write it. What you got is the county plan. Emergency management is a very vague responsibility. We don't really have much of emergency management here in West Mayfield. We're a tiny little town. You got a couple of volunteers that do stuff. We do a limited level for the borough. The plan with all this fancy wording and documentation goes through to like FEMA. The Federal Emergency Management goes to PEMA, Pennsylvania Emergency Management, goes to big cities like Pittsburgh, Allegheny County Emergency Services. We come down to Beaver County. The only reason Beaver County has a good emergency services and has all these planners that met with Kevin is because there's a nuclear power plant here. If you go to other counties, they're not that big unless they have a big threat issue. The biggest thing we are here for is those horrible, rare, massive disasters. Big disasters that say, give us some money. If there's an emergency here in West Mayfield, the emergency services, the police and the fire and the ambulance will take care of it. When they run out of resources, when they can't handle it, they call county and say, hey, county, we need this, we need that, we need this. What our responsibility as West Mayfield's emergency management is to say, oh, you guys need a bulldozer? We got a bulldozer. Hey, we got a guy that works for the borough that can probably do the bulldozer for us. Hey, you need that? We have this. You need that? We have that. Hey, we need this, we don't have it, county, what could you do for us? And they do that. So this whole plan is the same lovely fluff that we've had since emergency management really got started. It's the county plan. The one thing Kevin pointed out is, oh, why are we delegating everything to the county? Because we can't do it. Kevin was down at the 911 center. Did she show you the EOP or the EOC down there?
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing. We have this table, and we have 2 or 3 people sitting here that have a book with a bunch of phone numbers and a bunch of local contacts that are here in our town. That's truly all we have for here. We've got some cool volunteers that are going to come and help us out. They came to our presentation. But we're a micro version of calling the county. Truly what we are here is to be what resources we have here and what we can bring to the party. We can't bring much of anything. The EMA people are not the ones that go to the scene of an accident. We aren't first responders. We're on the other side of the phone from the first responders. Chief Mark Stowe says, hey, this looks bad. I need this. He's not going to call me. He's going to be calling the 911 center. The 911 center, somebody over there is gonna say, hey, call Bill and Eli. They're in West Mayfield. They might be able to get something. And then we'll go to our book, it's called a NORM, Notification and Resource Manual. That's the spreadsheet we have that has all of your phone numbers, emails, lists the toys that we have in the back, toys that we have here. Who's the guy down on second? Shit. Plumbing.
AJ.
AJ. True Plumbing, yeah, like, we'll call down to AJ. Dude, what can you get us? What toys do you have? What operators do you have? Things like that. We're just the local resources for what we have here. Not that we're gonna respond. Like I said, we got that phone call for that gooey, icky stuff dripping out of, not Standard Seal, what's the place down by the Engrich Tunnel?
Standard Steel.
Standard Steel, when they had that oil leak.
I didn't know nothing
Bill
about
and I went down there, we're like, ooh, yuck, that's a mess. Let's go grab some kitty litter from the fire department, let's call county and get the hazmat crew down here. And we just called who we needed to call to get resources. It was nice because Jens called us and said, hey, this looks nasty. Boom, we went down and called who we had to call. The upside, I was looking more into it. Emergency management volunteers are essentially treated like volunteer firefighters. So if we have emergency management people working like on a disaster or something like that, it sort of does fall back to the borough. Remember I was saying about why I was justifying that $50 salary? That way if I'm ever up here on call, whatever, making all my phone calls that I'm covered, technically you guys could drop that from me, but still list me as your EMC. But then the liability of all the people working in emergency management does fall to the borough's workers' comp. One of the things that we used to really plan a lot about was evacuation. Because if there ever is a railroad incident, you know, like the one that happened out in East Palestine, that the track eventually would have rolled
Through here.
right through our
That's my
town.
house.
Yeah. And they said, yeah, we need a half-mile evacuation. Now, Beaver Falls is going to love to do that because they're on the other side of the track. Hopefully they'll send trucks up to our side of the track because they're our fire department. But yeah, hoping Beaver Falls would jump on that. Otherwise it would come down on us or whoever, or hopefully somebody would be able to come and back us up. I've got a mildly unlawful PA on my mildly unlawful police vehicle in my front yard that I would use if necessary, but that was the one nice. Yeah. Literally, that's the thing that there's call for an evacuation. Standard thing. There's a tier 2 level chemical store down at the steel plant. What's the steel company?
PT Alliance?
PTC Alliance. Yeah, they have sulfuric acid.
What about a snowmageddon? Remember that?
Yeah, we'll get to that. But part of the thing with that tier 2 chemical thing is a evacuation. If there's ever any incident, they evacuate a certain radius. So then everybody uphill from the railroad tracks would be urged to go away. Yeah. Yeah, take the hint, get out of town, because it's right.
I'd be the first one out the door.
Yeah, you're on. But yeah, in a case like that, we do have plans. There's only 3 ways to get out of West, well, technically 4 if you're gonna go up the hollow to
White Township.
White Township. But yeah, that's not really that nice. But again, if the railroad tracks are down, you're not gonna get out Ingrich.
No.
You're not gonna get out the far side of Fourth, you're not gonna get out 37th, hey, everybody's going up through Chippewa, it'd be messy. The Snowmageddon, Billy was all over that. There's a certain dollar limit of loss that has to be triggered for the federal government to start giving out money. We're rather fortunate here. A big disaster will hit Pennsylvania, Ohio, and West Virginia. When it starts damaging 3 states, hopefully Maryland gets nailed also. If it starts damaging multiple states, the government's a little more generous. If there's a big bad windstorm, like we had the girl down on Rock, I think, had a tree fall in her house. I went down, took a look at it, sent a little note to county. There was no other damage reported. It's got to reach a certain threshold of $20-some thousand per citizen, blah, 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 blah. Once that dollar amount tallies up, you can take it to PEMA. PEMA doesn't have much money, but when it gets big and federal, that's when the money can come out. Billy did for the big Snowmageddon that came through here. He kept track of all the plow hours, all the salt that was loaded, all that kind of stuff. He did all the forms. He activated the Emergency Operations Center. There's all kind of FEMA forms for that. Took all these records. County sent all this stuff together. It was listed as a disaster. There was federal money, and we got a couple of $1,000s back. But again, it's got to be a big dollar volume of loss and expense that we can account for. So hopefully the federal money trickles down to us. One of the big things county really leans on us for is what's called damage assessment. Like I said, I saw she complained about that tree down. I went over, took a look at it. It was mildly affected. It wasn't structural. It wasn't uninhabitable. Yeah, from her standpoint, it's going to be an ugly loss and an insurance claim, but she was the only one. There was nobody else. That's never going to reach a disaster assistance kind of a thing. But it's all about playing the FEMA game, doing the FEMA forms, keeping all the records, passing all the information from here to county. County sends it to FEMA. We play their game. When there's some money coming back, we're in line for the money coming back.
So let me ask you, in terms of the box that we have to check off for having an updated current emergency management plan that is approved by council via resolution, we good to go? Your estimation?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The one big change was that IS 100 and 700.
Yeah.
Historically, that's been the thing. Oh yeah, everybody on council needs to take these classes. People didn't really do it. I threw it in the plan. Council is the one that's responsible for emergency management. I'm just a figurehead. I'm the guy that has the credentials, know what the paperwork form is, knows what everything is. That's why I stuck that in there, that you guys should know the language of what we're doing. I'm sure Kevin had quite the eye-opening experience down there with the elected officials seminar. Madison said she wants to do more of these. Because I mentioned to her, I said, hey, this is an election cycle. There's going to be a lot more new people out in office than at the last month of the year. And she said, yeah, I think we'll do that a little more often.
So we have to have an emergency management agency, which is our emergency management program. Check. We have to have an emergency management coordinator. Check. We have to have an emergency operations plan. Check. And we have to have an emergency operations center. Check. Okay, so we have all those things checked off. So this, right now, our task is to get our EOP approved, right? I don't see any reason why we can't, pass this next month, and I have the resolution in the can for that. I mean, I don't see any opposition, any barriers to
No.
it. And we'll check that off. I do think probably the most critical aspect of all of this is in the program itself. We can do above and beyond the minimums, right? This little chart here, which has a lot of stuff, is all the stuff that's actually in the realm of municipalities. And you say there's not much to do, but, so prevention and mitigation, preparedness, response, recovery.
Yeah.
Each one of those categories, there's a bunch of stuff under prevention, building codes, disaster insurance, risk mapping, floodplain management, tax incentives, disincentives, safety codes, public education, land use management, and under preparedness, the operations plan, of course, our warning system, emergency operations center, continuity of government. Do we have a continuity plan at all? This goes back to we are missing emergency management operation SOPs. We're missing these things, right? The things that really tell us what all this stuff, how it should work. The exercises, we could have exercises, tabletop or whatever. We can do that at the local level.
We could.
Yeah.
County does that.
Oh, county
Does that, and we
the
participate.
county today said they would help us do it
Yeah.
here locally, right?
Yeah.
But we can do it ourselves. Eli, I
Are we
think,
obligated to do this?
well, there's what you're obligated to do, and there's what really you should do. If you really want to be an emergency management, it's like you can be a police officer and never go to the range and shoot your gun, But really, so I think that the question for me is, and I have a whole list of, and I sent this out to everybody too. I said all these different items for example, establishing lines of succession for key positions. I don't know the answer to that question. Designating departmental emergency operations centers and alternatives. Unknown and uncertain. So I've got a lot of questions here, more questions than anything.
Right.
And I think it behooves us moving forward under the umbrella of public safety, under emergency management, to go through this and see how we can make this the best emergency management program that suits us here. Suits not what county minimally requires, what FEMA.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is a lot of the stuff you're talking about is really nice. Well beyond, I mean, we truly have not much of an exercise planning thing. I'm not sure what you're looking for, but Kevin, there's two of us that are here that do this.
I understand. We have to live within the real world, live within our means, and having people available, having an interest available. Right?
If I can't get people to do 100 and 700 online,
right.
Good luck getting people to do anything else.
Right. But we can put that into our onboarding, offboarding policy. We can put that on our planner.
Why do you want to keep having more and more policies? Is what
he nailed it in a month, and he said it wasn't that painful.
Right.
Justin was
Yeah,
really good
I'm
about
in the
it.
middle of doing mine.
Yeah,
I
so
couldn't
I mean,
get with the shutdown. I couldn't access it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's doable. But we have no way to. Policies are important, Bob, because
Not
without
certain
policies,
policy, but I feel like you keep adding more and
yes,
more
I'm
and
adding
more.
more because we need more. We need more because we have gaping hole. I wish I should have went to law school. Because I would take a municipality like this to court, I'd clean up for just the carelessness and the sort of the inattentive to these details, not paying attention to your terms and conditions, your contracts, no policies that have to deal with your finance, misappropriating public monies because you don't even have a financial management policy, right? I get what you're saying. This stuff is administrative stuff. I get it, right? I happen to have a high tolerance for this stuff, but that's why I'm willing to do a lot of the legwork and the grunt work of drafting this. Jason, Justin, you have a tolerance too for it. But these are the things that give us. This is a roadmap of how this borough operates, right? Right now, the fact that we're having this conversation, we've got 6 new people coming on to council, and we've lost our borough secretary and all these people who've taken all this institutional knowledge. God help us. We'll figure it out. But we're at a loss of how to run this borough effectively, efficiently, legally, I would say in a lot of cases, right? Doing right by, what emergency management preparedness should be, right? This is what I'm advocating, right? I'm advocating that we do the hard work, looking at where we need to address these deficits that we have.
It's things that are getting done already. It's just crossing T's, dotting I's, and making sure that we're not doing garbage.
What I'm thinking is, get the stuff in line that you really need to and have to get in line, and kind of bring other stuff in.
Yeah, we have to prioritize.
Not just
what's important.
load us up with everything at one time. You know what I mean?
We're actually going through this systematically, right? A lot of this stuff is we need to approach it. All this budgeting stuff now, we're going through budgeting season, right? Beginning of the year, right? We have to set up for this year coming up.
Sure.
And I think the other side to that is like,
just don't add more meetings.
If there were like other policies already in place, then a lot of this stuff wouldn't even be a discussion too, right? But since they're coming up, it's like, oh man, we got to do something on that, because I mean, I'm new to I'm opening up a bid and I'm reading the bids for the first time. I'm like, I don't know.
Did you read the whole novel?
Yeah, like what's the right way to do this, right? When I was handed our bid specs, it was a half a page. Now I have, two different options that we can provide to. I mean, look how many people showed up and actually bid. Like,
That's pretty good.
Some companies that we didn't even know, right? Because we had two options that they could bid on as well. So, like, some of that stuff, I think, all pertains to having a policy or a resolution being made. Unfortunately, it's wordy, but
It's what has to be done.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff has to be done. We you know what? Quite frankly, because it hasn't been done here, we don't
I think it has. It's just
I'm not talking. What I was saying though, I'm not talking about stuff that
Of what's been hiding.
has to get done. Just
That's probably this much.
don't overload us with
Like
like the emergency management thing you're talking about.
Also,
Don't call another meeting.
No.
So we can sit down and talk about emergency management for 2 hours.
I got you. But at some point, you have to work smarter, and you have to delegate, and you have to think about how to put one foot in front of the
Sure, I
other,
understand that.
and how to go down the pass. And you can't do. I always use the example of, remember that episode of I Love Lucy, where Lucy and Ethel were in the chocolate factory. It's going so fast, and they're just.
She's
we can get it.
She's like,
I need some chocolate.
So, yeah, I mean, we need to be smart about it and do what we can, when we can, prioritize, strategic, make it strategic and all that. But I am really impressed of where we're going, not where we are, where we're going, right? Hey,
we've come a long way in a couple months.
Staff's gonna unlay a lot of stuff on us in this next meeting that has to deal with our operations.
Lindsay from Aiken actually gave the administration a compliment here, saying like how much better West Mayfield has been just during that process than it has in the past. So. I don't want to. It's probably not me. I'm just saying, like in general, right? So.
All right. Anybody have anything else?
That's it. All I have.
I just have one question about the baseball. This says, as per contract, summarizing financial expenditures related to concession. We're bugging them about how much money they're making in their concessions, or.
No, that's not.
Or what am I?
That's not their. No, that's not. They're not selling hot dogs. That's the youth baseball concession. The concession itself. So we basically gave them this opportunity to do their shtick, their program, and that's the concession.
Okay.
Not the concession
But
stand.
Well, when you say concession, they have a concession stand there.
Yeah, right. That's why this whole thing is called the youth baseball concession. And so that's in quotes. So that is directly out of the contract. I don't believe I was.
Just give us a year-end review of how everything's going, basically, right?
Yeah.
And any plans for next year.
Right.
I mean, they have to make money to keep going.
Just think back I found it. I have it. I found the old contract, the MD. Who was the guy? I found it in 2010 and 2015, right? And if you remember, no one had a clue what that was about. Oh, we thought this happened, we remember that happening, right? Where in the hell was the document? I found it in my dad's paperwork, right?
I set that up.
So, I mean, you know, and I don't think the contract was that bad, I mean, for
Right.
our purposes. But, you know, we just got so lazy and sloppy, if you will, in our sort of administrative handling of stuff, that was just lost. And then for years, I'm not kidding, I did a whole post about it, I did a deep dive, and I cataloged every single comment in the meeting minutes about this issue. Bill Heaton saying, and I'll say this because it's in a public record, Bill Heaton said, we need to have a contract, right? And then later on, and Jake saying, we need to have a contract. 2 years later, Jake saying, we don't need a contract. And Bill said, you know, it doesn't really matter if we have a contract. And then come back full circle. We've got to have a contract with these people. Because questions were raised from citizens. What's going on down there? That's our property. What are they doing with our property? Where's the oversight and control over that, right?
But it goes back to like Kathy's saying, you found that contract at your dad's place,
Yeah.
you know? Why isn't there a copy here? That's okay to be at your dad's
Yeah,
place,
well, there
you know
should
what I
be one
mean?
here, yeah.
But there should be one here, you know?
Right.
The original, and then everybody else can have a million copies in all their homes, you know?
Well, coming down the line is a municipal records policy resolution, another resolution for you, Bob. But this is actually really important because
We can have lots of resolutions, I just don't wanna be having more meetings.
well, this is just going to simply say, let's follow the law because we have to keep certain records for a certain amount of time, tax records, property record. Your code, Chief Stowe said, you need to keep those records of those house inspections, right? We've got nothing to tell us that that's the case because we have no operating guideline or
Right.
SOP. We've got nothing to say, well, how long do you keep that record, right? You get sick and tired of those in a cardboard box, chuck them out. Well, you know, these policies define those things.
Well, we're keeping track of everything we're doing, like
In all
for,
fairness of what we started, we don't have anything from when Chris was rolling with
No,
it.
huh?
Nothing.
Yeah, so you see,
Nothing.
you see where we end up without.
Chris was
this kind of
handing out
Which also
permits left
comes
and
to
right
the
for $60.
onboarding and
Yeah.
offboarding too,
And
right?
we don't know, we
Onboarding.
don't have nothing.
So-
So,
But what's important about the work session meeting and what makes this super important is next Wednesday, we're gonna come in here, we're gonna vote on 4 different things and make a motion.
I live a lot more than that.
Come on, help me out, okay?
Oh,
Help me out here.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a 1-hour council meeting and finish
Uh-huh.
everything.
Remember, Justin said that.
Right,
Oh,
Kevin?
We very well could do that.
Yeah.
Did you take enough
Bring the
notes
kitchen
on
timer.
all those bids?
What?
Did everyone take enough notes on all those bids?
I'll put a summary together.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that'd be good.
I have 10 things
I was
to vote
impressed
on.
with,
And because you all have copies,
waste management.
just come in and vote on them. right?
They were
Debate,
super
go around the
helpful
table,
through the
call
whole
the questions.
process.
Yeah.
I'll look at
Mhm. They called me,
Get out of here.
I don't know how many times I got calls from them.
the
I
the
just spend time
bid.
every week.
Did you read the
I don't see her
final
all day
bid
now.
that went out to everybody?
No.
I haven't even
I
been
didn't
home
see
today.
that.
Those bid specs, and so I definitely sent that, and it was the bids spec contract that, or the bid specs, they were posted on the website, right? So there is definitely a copy on the website too. But everything in there is pretty much, some of the wordage and some of the thing came from Waste Management. They were like,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
this is, you should put this on here. You should have, these bins need to be like this with a 10-year warranty. We own them, right? So like, they were super good on that. But that means anyone that bid on it is bidding that same exact process. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts on anything. It's like,
It's just basically who has the
Yeah.
better price.
everybody has to give us a dumpster on these bid prices. Yeah. One of the things that did come up was just someone asked about the units that we put on there. I think we put 596 units, and someone said that it was really high. We kind of discussed it, and it was like kind of proprietary information according to the refuse. Aiken did just share what they're paying, or what paying customers are, and that's probably why they didn't do the unlimited, because they said they were having problems with it because it came in 200 units less.
I'm really surprised they didn't do that.
We used the census record for a number of households. And, you know, so people say, well, that's, Waste said that's
Yeah,
too
Valley
high.
Way said it was too high.
They consider that's not our number.
Yeah.
It was way higher than our number, but, that's, what do we have to go on,
Yeah.
right? We have to use the number that is official, and the census is official. Yeah, but that is proprietary.
Yeah.
No one
But
has
if
to do that.
the census is official, what if you didn't fill out your census?
Right. There's a lot, Waste Management said they could get, that one I believe.
What was it? Plus 100, plus or minus 118 is what the census data was. It was like, it's 500 units, but plus or minus 118. So it's like,
Jeff, do you need this?
yeah, it's 600.
Okay.
So.
Do you need this?
So I'll take all those home and
Okay.
I'll do a summary of it.
Okay.
Or what are your thoughts?
You wanna set up a meeting?
Who else on the committee?
Where he wants to
Can we get a citizen's?
You would
Uh,
have a
You wanna get a sense?
Well, I just wanted to say,
property that we do.
can we get Aqua to come in here and tell us what our sewer bill is gonna be?
I think they can release that when they release it, right?
My understanding is that the billing is gonna be like it always will. Beaver Falls contracted with Aqua to collect just like they always have, right? So right now, apparently there's
I
no,
talked to Beaver Falls Municipal. Beaver Falls Municipal, right, today is charging us $40 for our sewer and our water bill based on our water meter.
Right.
Aqua has a flow meter at the Ingrich Tunnel. Aqua is gonna send us a bill based on that flow meter that's going out of the borough,
how do you know that?
Didn't you talk about that?
because that's what Aqua is going to bill us on.
How do you know that? How do you know that to be true?
Because
Did somebody say that? Is that so we get communications?
From my understanding is
Well,
like in that agreement or something,
Yeah.
it was like the price doesn't change for
The
3 years or
rate
something.
the rate does
Doesn't
not
change?
change.
But I know that they're inspecting. Someone said that they're inspecting those
Flow meters?
flow meters.
Oh,
They-
sure.
Yes,
You understand
it's-
why.
they're all built on flow meters. Aqua is going to charge us the rate times the.
But I haven't heard that.
How do you know that to be true?
That was what the big fear was during the whole Aqua purchase
I
thing.
understand
And
fears.
I'd like,
what
and
people
I'd
say.
like to get, because I talked to people at Beaver Falls Municipal. They're like, we only know what the city of Beaver Falls is.
Right.
City of Beaver Falls is different. You need to talk to Aqua.
And I think this is
So I'd lean on Joe.
a good conversation for the public works.
Right, but it's just, I don't know about you guys. My Beaver Falls municipal bill has been $40. Sewage is $40. Every quarter I get $40 for sewage. 8,000 of water usage. They never, Beaver Falls Municipal said, yeah, we saw the flow rate, we didn't care about that. We didn't worry about that. It truly worries me now that Aqua wants all the meters set because they're gonna start measuring flow. The stuff you flush down your toilet and put down your sink is not everything that goes out that flow. All of our broken pipe that has water infiltration. The reason we blow the lid off of Patterson Avenue isn't because of what we're
Because of
flushing.
the rainwater.
It's rainwater and infiltration into our fractured pipe. So I'm just fearful that our sewage bill is going to skyrocket.
When
And
I
I want
went-
somebody from Aqua to talk to me and.
When I went down and paid my bill, I said to the girl, are we gonna get a separate bill from Aqua? She says, no. She says, you have your own sewage department. You maintain your sewers. Beaver Falls is going to be maintained by Aqua.
Yep.
She said, so we will bill you for your sewage and water because you take care of your sewers, that you have nothing to do with Aqua. That's what she told me. So I don't know what the truth is.
Well, our water and sewer,
Yeah,
I believe.
but like I said, she
comes
said
from
it's
bill from-
because we maintain our own sewers. If they maintained our sewers, she said, then Aqua would, but Beaver Falls will have Aqua take care of their sewers.
Right, we're responsible for paying for the infrastructure, repairs,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. Usage, individual households pay for usage. rates, right? You're saying.
Which goes off of your.
You're saying there'd be a municipal, what?
Not for sewer.
What do you mean not for sure? That's how it works.
Sewer.
That's
Not,
what
our
she told
sewer is a flat $40 every quarter. When I looked at I told my wife, give me last year's water bill. The 4 bills are $40 a quarter
Yeah, so there's a base.
for sewer. No,
Base.
$40 for sewer, water varies. Because they meter on water, sewer was $40 all the time
Check your text.
for four quarterly payments.
You're saying
Yeah.
that Aqua will use this flow metering to adjust those base rates.
But that flow meter is everything from the borough, not mine. I don't have a flow meter on my house.
Yeah.
The borough is gonna get a bill. I believe our water sewer fund, Beaver Falls Municipal collects that fund. Do we ever pay?
Yeah.
Okay,
You know, matter of fact.
what we're paying right now for sewer, I guess that might be what's metered and rated. And then the $40 that I'm giving to Beaver Falls Municipal goes with the $40 you're giving and the $40 you're giving. So we add up those $512, $40 payments to pay off that bill. I just want somebody from Aqua to tell me what our damn sewer bill is gonna be and how that's gonna impact the borough.
He's in charge of that meeting we're gonna have with Aqua.
No, that's the borough's responsibility. You guys signed this contract and,
Joe.
talk to Joe,
There you go.
because, yeah,
But the stamp people, and this was news to me, that we have flexibility to adjust those rates.
yeah,
If we need to make up
right.
monies, we can do that. And the excess can go to maintaining our sewer system.
That's what our water sewer bill comes out. Bill and I talked about that. Oh yeah, that's the extra money between what we pay to Beaver Falls and what Beaver Falls gets paid by Pat.
Well, to my knowledge, we've never leveraged the enterprise fund to pay for sewers. I've never seen any documentation on that. We can do that.
The water sewer,
The water sewer fund,
yeah,
it's
is
an
that,
enterprise fund.
okay, yeah, whatever that is. But yeah, that, Bill said that's the difference between, that's the difference between what we collect from the borough that goes to BFMA and what they charge us for the sewer.
And we've been in the black for a long time.
Right. Beaver Falls Municipal is probably really kind.
Okay, so what you're wanting is for someone to reach out to Aqua and see if they will send a representative? Is
Well,
that?
I'm not so much worried about that, but maybe find out how they're gonna do this. Because if we gotta change that $40 that I'm paying, again, I don't know what everybody else is paying. I'm sorry, I got a wicked leg cramp, that's why I'm standing up and kind of dancing around. I just don't wanna surprise your bill next month is $60. Oh, yeah, next quarter, wow, after rain season, your water bill or your sewer bill is $135.
Okay.
Because again, it's quarterly payment.
Your point's well taken.
I just don't want any surprises.
I don't know that we can do anything about it. at
He's
this
just
point.
wanting to know.
I just want to
He just
find
wants to
out.
know.
I just want to find out because
Can't you call down there and ask them? Can't you call them?
Set up a meeting.
that's not my job.
That sounds like sewage to me.
That sounds like a borough council responsibility. I'm just,
Yeah, we're going to.
Yeah, I can
They-
give them a call.
I talked to the girls at Beaver Falls Municipal. They're like, I don't know. We're
we're
not
gonna
your
call them.
contractor. You got to
They're-
deal with
We'll
Aqua.
call.
It's the same thing
We'll
they
call
told
them.
Nora.
Okay.
Yeah, Beaver Falls Municipal doesn't know.
Yeah.
That's why I said, why don't you just call Aqua? Wouldn't Aqua know?
I'll reach out to
Right.
Aqua.
Just-
Justin
and
Gardner.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Somebody ought to
I
figure it
don't
out
think it's
because,
public works issue, it's source.
Yeah.
This is really about finance.
yeah, because like I said,
Expenditures.
if that was that $40 There's a difference between what
But
the
we're
sewer
not doing
fund
anything
charged
with
the
that
borough and
$40.
split to
We're
us.
we're not the reason there's $40 on somebody's water bill.
I don't know how this, I don't know.
You gotta read your bill. That's
But what I'm saying is, West Mayfield doesn't say, hey, we're gonna put $50 on sewage for your water bill.
We could raise that, remember,
Yeah,
you remember, George saying that we could raise those rates if we
Yeah.
wanted to. If we wanted to have excess revenue to put back into.
They
our
bill
sewer
us
system.
and we bill them.
right.
One of the things that our auditors actually recommended is that we actually get a hold of or figure out the Beaver Falls Water Authority's audits. In other words, audit them.
Right.
Because they said or suggesting, we don't know whether that's correct or not.
Right.
What Beaver Falls Water Authority is charging us or how they're doing the accounting.
Right.
So that's probably something
Because I think that was,
on the books.
they agreed that they would distribute that charge among all the residents of the borough. That sewage charge, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. Part of our water bill was that, oh yeah, we'll do the billing on your behalf. Other than the borough sending out a sewage bill to everybody.
Or what, they try to jack up the prices one year and then they rescind
So-
it.
Yeah.
I'll call Aqua, I'll figure that out. For the bids, what needs to happen now?
I think you need to call a meeting, probably anyone who's interested. I'll be there, you'll be there. Let's go over that.
This,
Oh,
Yeah.
Let's go over those and
I went in on this too.
gotta wrap our heads around what's what, right?
When do you guys wanna meet? It's gotta be,
Just let me know.
it's gotta be from now until before
You
Wednesday.
adjourn and then you guys can figure this out.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, we're adjourned.
Hey, make sure you